let's do a quick update on the Celebrity Big Brother 3 season. The last 2 days, well, obviously Chris Kirkpatrick was voted out unanimously. And some of you probably already know that Carson is the new HOH. But there are some problems in Carson's HOH. And I talked about it in the last video, how I just feel like Carson has no strategic prowess in this game whatsoever. In order to win this challenge, he did strike a deal with Todrick that he would not put Todrick on the block this round. And so it seems as though Carson will have to go after Misha and her other soldier, which is Todd. So Misha and Todd will be his nominees. But if one of those comes off the block, that's where it gets interesting, because if Misha comes off the block, you're leaving Misha and Todrick in the game together, which is kind of the main point. And I get making deals in this game, and I get keeping deals in this game. But Carson already has a good enough social game. Does he really need Todrick's and Misha's vote in the end? In fact, I think Misha would vote for Todrick. Misha would vote for Carson in the end anyway if Carson made the end, because I feel like she sees him as this huge threat, this huge social threat, because her social game is terrible. So, yeah, Carson might not get one of his 2 main targets out this week. He might just get Todd out. And also probably lose Todd's vote at the end in the process. Anyway, just a few minutes ago, before I was recording this, there was talks of a Final Four between Carson, Cynthia, Shayna, and Todrick. And I'm just like waiting for the inevitable final 2 between Todrick and Shayna, where Shayna, who has played an absolutely atrocious game, will get the win over Todrick just because Todrick's jury management was so awful. I'm just getting sick of juries in these games in general, who just... Honestly, if the final 2 was Todrick or Shayna, I will break away from the popular opinion. I would rather Todrick win over Shayna, because in the end, Todrick will have played the far superior game. And hurt feelings getting Shayna a victory is eye-roll worthy to me. Todrick is playing a good game because he continues to slime his way through everything, in and out of situations. He made this deal with Carson, even though he would snake Carson in a second, and I still expect him to try to do so in this last, I guess, little over a week and a half of the game. I expect Todrick to try to snake Carson. That's been his biggest target in this game, so why wouldn't he try? So I don't know what to think about this Final Four between Shayna, Todrick, Cynthia, and Carson. I feel like Shayna doesn't like Todrick, and Todrick doesn't like Shayna. Yet it feels like somehow those 2 are going to be in the end, because they are able to... The rest of the house just isn't playing hard enough, is really what it comes down to. Except for Misha, who I guess played too hard and then put a target on her back. I guess there has to be a balance. And honestly, that balance might be Lamar. I've been saying maybe his head isn't in the game, but I think his head has been in the game this whole time. He had allegedly told people that he wanted to go home. But I feel like we saw him instigate that fight on the episode, for one. But he's also always in the know. On the feeds, I've seen him only talk a little bit of game with Misha here and there, a little bit of game with Todrick here and there. But he really only talks game with Todd. So Todd going this week isn't great for Lamar's game. But I feel like in general, even though he doesn't talk to a lot of people, he has a pretty great grasp on the game and like the chessboard, basically. He sees who's been doing what. So he's definitely way smarter in this game than I gave him credit for. He's really just, he doesn't do a lot of gaming, but he recognizes everything that's going on, and I like that. I would love a Lamar win, but I don't know if he would be able to get to the end because I don't know if he has the connections to do so. Todrick's the one with all these connections, and people keep letting him slime back and forth between people, even though he would snake them all. And I don't know why they let him try to do that at all times. I feel like, but the problem is that if Todrick gets to the end, even if Chris Kattan stayed in this game and wanted to quit the whole time, if the final two was Kattan and Todrick, I think Kattan would get the winning vote, which would have been, honestly, more annoying to me than anything. But yeah, Todrick is playing a great slime game, but he's not going to get the jury vote. He's probably going to survive this week because he struck that deal with Carson. Carson's going to nominate Todd and Misha. If one of them come down, it's assumed that Lamar would go up and the other would go home. So either Todd or Misha likely the person to be voted out this weekend. I think the next vote off is Monday, but we shall see.